So this week we follow up from last week's theme about my new venture called SlamDunk Significance. And if you didn't hear about that, you didn't watch the video or listen to last week's podcast or read the post, make sure you do so. It's a mission that I'm embarking upon that I would love for you to join me on. And yeah, it's something that I think we all will embrace. We want to do all we can to provide as many kids the best opportunity for a positive athletic and educational experience. And that's what this mission is going to be all about, trying to bring that to as many kids as possible by bridging the gap between those who need it, schools, leagues, teams, and those who have made it, those people who have made it either as professional athletes or coaches, or those who've just done well for themselves and have the financial resources to be able to help us out and bring in speakers and trainers like those of us, like I work with proactive coaching, but there's so many others out there, to bring in people who can, help those schools, teams, leagues provide the best coaching possible, the best team experience possible for their kids. So that's what I unveiled last week. I talked about last week. I certainly will be talking about it more as we move on through the year and through the years, I guess. But anyway, today is kind of a follow-up to that because of the word significance. Okay, as I said last week, and I had said during the course of the John Maxwell, Rob Hoskins Change Your World book series, that word significance hit me a lot in there because they talked about it a lot. And, both Maxwell and Casey Crawford, the guy who had been an NFL player and had decided there was more to life that he could do. And he opened up a mortgage company to help underprivileged people. And then that turned into also opening a foundation to help build schools in underprivileged communities and build hospitals, and that's just all exploded. And his whole focus, and same with Maxwell's, is on significance over success. And so I talked about that last week, and that's why my new venture is called SlamDunk Significance. I've been SlamDunk Success. That's the name of this YouTube channel. That's the name of my company for quite a while. That's not going away. We still want to create success in our lives, but significance is really where it's at. And so when I heard that, read that, and then heard that from those authors, it immediately brought me back to something that Bruce Brown, the director of proactive coaching, said on a Facebook post probably 7 or 8 years ago now. And if you are not following Proactive Coaching's Facebook page, you need to be. Get on Facebook, not at this very moment, but when you're done watching the video, and just download it and follow it. We have over 950,000, or just about 950,000 people following that page every day. Bruce and Rob Miller, the other director, put on their short nuggets of great ideas on leadership, team building, coaching, athletics, parenting, you name it. So you need to follow that page. And you also need to check out proactivecoaching.info for the materials that we provide. Bruce's books and booklets, the presentations that we do, videos, the membership site, there's a variety of things for you. So about 7 or 8 years ago, Bruce put a post on the Facebook page that I felt said it all, exactly what needed to be said to us as coaches. And I have since put it in at the first slide or second slide in a few of our presentations that I do. And so this is what he said. And like I said, as soon as I got to that section in the Maxwell book and then listened to Casey Crawford, I was like, this brings me right back to what Bruce has said. And the two came together and was like, that the word significance is so important. And that's kind of what led me to, to the name of this new mission. So here's what Bruce said. I love this concept. And I went into more detail in it than I'll go into here on the podcast. So if you didn't listen to the Great Quotes for Coaches podcast this past Monday, make sure you do so. What was that? The 19th. June 19th, 2023. Coaching for significance is intentional coaching. Okay. Love that right off the bat. We need to get intentional about what we're doing. It does not mean you aren't competitive or care about winning. I get so tired of people who'll hear about the things that we do and say, oh, well, that's all kind of rah, rah, woo, woo, whatever kind of stuff. And it's like, no, because in their mind, all they care about is winning games and scoreboard success. Well, I have a problem with that. But I don't have a problem with wanting scoreboard success and wanting to win games and wanting to compete. It's what I want to do every time I'm in that competitive environment. It's just that that's not what it's only about. In fact, it's not even the main thing that what we do as coaches in kids' lives should be about. He says it actually allows you to be more competitive and successful in every way, including the scoreboard. It doesn't mean that you don't enjoy teaching the technical parts of the game, which give you credibility. That's a real important point because we have to know the X's and O's, the strategy, the techniques, how to teach the skills. That's a huge element. Or else our players are going to realize this coach doesn't really know what he or she's talking about. Okay. So you have to know that. And that's a key to coaching for significance. Just like anything. You could pull out the word coaching, by the way, and put in leading or teaching or parenting or whatever you want, and then figure out, oh, that would work with this aspect of my life too. But this is for coaches. Most of you are coaches. He says it means that you and the athletes are taking a shared love you both have for a sport and using that shared love and the word on the front of your name, coach, to develop the trust necessary to impact those athletes beyond today, beyond the season, and into their lives. Lots there. Take that name, coach, that you now have in front of your name, sometimes at the end of your, wherever it's put. Take that name and make sure that you treat it with the respect and dignity that it deserves. Unfortunately, there are too many coaches in our world who have given the name a bad name, and kids will think of their coach and think, oh, I struggle with coach. Shame on you. None of you are that coach, but you know the coaches I'm talking about. We need to make sure that we always handle the responsibility of that name coach with the respect it deserves. But I love this, to develop the trust necessary. Okay. Absolutely critical that you have your players' trust. You have your fellow coaches' trust. You have your administration's trust. You have your parents' trust, the community's trust. Trust is huge in any leadership position. It's everything, really. Okay. We do a whole presentation called The Impact of Trust and how coaches can build the trust necessary to succeed with their teams. You should check that out. Again, proactivecoaching.info. To impact their athletes beyond today, beyond the season, and into their lives. The things that you say and do with your teams and how you treat your kids, right? And how you treat this concept of being a coach is going to impact so much more than that scoreboard and that just this moment that I'm in here with these kids. They're going to carry this on with them the rest of their lives. This is why I started the SlamDunk Significance, because we need to do all we can to help coaches understand this and how to do this and have the education and the training to figure this out. That everything they say and do is being absorbed and taken elsewhere into kids' lives. What message are your kids taking into their lives and using? Is it positive? Is it negative? Is it something that's going to benefit them and help them? Or was it merely said or done to benefit you? We need to make sure that we recognize the impact that we're having in kids' lives. Coaches of significance have a style that works for athletes and success. So we're about the kids, but we're also about trying to create successful environments and successful situations. This is where the last two sentences to me really get at the heart of it. They build purposeful team cultures. They don't just leave their team culture to chance. Again, we do a whole presentation on that. First steps to creating great teams. The booklet, First Steps to Creating Successful Teams. Check them out, proactivecoaching.info. And they intentionally teach and model the character traits that will help young people become strong adults and citizens. presentation on that, Life Lessons for Athletes, booklet on that, Life Lessons for Athletes, in which we focus on 10 behavioral characteristics, 10 behavioral traits that athletes should learn from this experience. Okay. And it's up to us as coaches to make sure we're teaching, instilling, emphasizing, modeling those things. They know their why, and their legacy lives beyond them in the lives of their athletes. Do you know your why? Do you have your why figured out as a coach? Why you're doing this? If it's about because I love to win games, you're missing the point. This is about so much more than you winning games, than your team's winning games. Yes, I want to win as much as you do. You want to win as much as I do. Don't tell me you want to win more than I do. And I'm not going to tell you I want to win more than you do. Someone say, well, I'd be willing to do more. If you're willing to do things you shouldn't be doing, that doesn't mean you want to win more. Okay? And again, I'm sure none of you are the people who are that way, but you know they're out there. We all want to win. That's not what this is about. Everybody wants to win. What are you doing, though, to create a winning culture? What are you doing to create an experience for your kids that they can take on into the rest of their lives and say, I am so glad that I had Coach blank in my life to teach me these lessons and to help prepare me for the various things that your kids are going to experience throughout their lives. This is what coaches of significance do. And I challenge you today to work to become a coach of significance in kids' lives. Thank you, Bruce Brown, for posting this however many years ago. It's as impactful a thing as I've ever read from you, heard from you, and I've heard thousands of impactful words from Bruce. He's one of the most impactful teachers, coaches, leaders that I've ever known. And I came to Bruce late in my life and late in his life, and became a speaker with Proactive Coaching in 2008, I think it was, well into my career. And it's been one of the greatest things that's happened to me. And it's because of ideas like this that I'm so thankful to have been able to be put on that path with them. And I hope you will take this concept, take this idea, and apply it to your own coaching, your own teaching, your own parenting, your own leading in whatever way you lead other people, because that's what they're going to remember. And that's what you want them to remember. All right. Love this idea. Pass this on to others. We're going in a little different direction next week. So we'll talk to you then.